Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. Today we are going to discuss about the post-installation configuration, how to change the parameters. Then we are going to discuss about little bit about users and authorization rules. We will cover these two topics. And I will add one more topic monitoring because basis consultant main task is monitoring task. After installation, what we have to do, you are able to, after installation of SAP system, we have to perform some run the T codes to check. First we have to check the consistency, check consistency of system running ICK. Like when you go to the doctor and doctor is going to check you whether you are well or not. Well, you are sick or not sick. First we have to run the sick transaction. We will let us know whether there is a inconsistency problem or not. Then I will show you each and that task. Then we have to apply the license, apply license. We have to apply the license. We can use this transition code as license. Everything is T code, here apply the license. After installation, we have to apply the license because we have to request for the license and then we have to apply the license. S license is the T code with this. We are going to apply the license. We have to create client. We can create client. Like we can create clients as we can run the T code. SEC4 to create the client. Then we can change parameters as per our company requirement. We have to change the parameters. For changing the parameter, we can run the transaction code RZ11 and 10, RZ11, and then we have to create users, We can create users using transaction code as users01. We can create roles using transaction code PFC. All these things we are going to see today. We have to check the consistency of the system applying the license. Create the client, changing the parameter, create the users and create the roles. These are the tasks we are going to see today, and we are going to cover the users and authorization also. When we are going to install the SAP system, we get the 3-month time to apply the license. We have to request the license. We can request the license from FP site and we have to tell SAP that this is our system. ID system instance number server detail to SAP. SAP will give it license in a form of text file. Now we are to run SIC SCCCCT code to check the consistency. What did you think? Initial consistency check. No, I don't sleep water, no errors reported. SIC, is that the code? you are going to check whether it is. That is the first we did. Then we have to apply the license. We have to apply the license. If there is any error, it will list. Is it yes? It will come here. If consistency error. S license is saying that I have installed on 16th May. It is valid for 90 days. Temporary license is activated. You are able to see. It is valid for 3 months. It is valid. In between, I have to request for a license. How to request? We can go to support SAP site, and there we can apply for the license. Request for the key is here. Are you able to see? Request for the keys. Here we can, but it requires user ID and password. You cannot request the keys for like you are working for the GSC company. You cannot request the keys for Aramco, Saudi Aramco or Indian Oil Corporation or Boeing or other. You can request the keys for your own organization data. That is why you have to log in, and then you can request for the keys. You have to log in with your user ID. You have to tell to SAP what is the system ID, what is the server, what is the instance number. SAP will give you a text file. After getting a text file from SAP, you can install the keys. Here to install the keys. You can request the license keys on the marketplace. After getting the license keys, you can import the license keys. Install new license, this option here. It will ask for the text file. The text file that you got it from SAP, you can just install here. You can just select that file and it will install the license keys very simple way. The text file will appear and the original license will be showing here. Your license will be in the text format. That text file, you will get it from the female account and you download that to the server, and then you can select this file and then you can implement. In this way we can apply the license. License then created the client. By default we got 2 clients. By default we got 2 clients. 000 and 001. 01. 000 we cannot do anything. 000 is known as reference clients. If customer don't want to create client, they can work in 001 client. Suppose AP is giving 2 clients by default, 000 and 001. If customer don't want to create a new client, they can work in 00001 client. 000 client cannot be used for productive purpose. 000 client is known as reference client. Whenever we have to apply the support packs or any configuration related things, we have to do in 000 client. Like we have to set up the transport and other things. We are going to do in 000 client, 000 client. Whatever settings we do in 000 client, it is going to reflect in all clients. Suppose your GSC have the operation in Qatar as well as in Saudi also. GSC want 100 to be set up for UK. Suppose they have the operation in UK also. They want, we can set up the new client using the transaction code SCC4. By default, we are having two clients in SCC4. T code, we can see we are having two clients, 000 and 001. These are the two default clients. When we are going to install the SAP system, we got two default clients, 000 and 001. If customer don't want to create client, they can directly work into 000 client, 001 client. But suppose customer want to have subsidy in different countries. They want to set up a new client for each of the country. They can create using SSCC4. It is not mandatory activity but will depend on the customer requirement. We can create a new client also. I am going to create a new client. New entries client number 100 GHC UK City London Logical System Currency UGDD. Client role. Whether testing client supports this role of client would be testing. You will be having a testing team in UK. We can make the client here. Now the client is created. However, now we will be having SCC4. We are having 3 client in TRS system, 0001 and 100 client. But can you log in into 100 client? No, because you are the employee of GSC Qatar, that is 001, you cannot log in here. If you want to log in, I have to create your user ID into GSC UK. Your user IDs are specific to the client. You have seen how to create client is fine, able to. Now after that, we have to change the parameters. To change the parameters, we can use this one RZ10 and RZ1NT core. Suppose how many sessions I can open. Now you are able to see my screen. How many sessions I can open. Now you can see here I am having only one session here. Now I will try to open many sessions. My next session, you can open from here this I can hear one more session I have opened. I have 2 sessions open. Now I will open a new session. I will open in another session. I will open another session. I will open another session. I will open another session. Another session. How many maximum session I can open? I am just trying to do that activity. What it is saying? Are you able to read what it is saying? Maximum number of SAP GI session. Maximum number of SAP GI session reads how many sessions are opened. Individual user can open. It is maximum 6 session individual user can open. I want to increase this limit. I want to increase it to 8 or 10 because I am a multitasker. I will be doing multiple tasks simultaneously. I can open multiple sessions and I can or I want to reduce the number. I can reduce the number I want to because in this way if a user is having multiplication, it is going to consume lot of memory. You can run the transaction code allowed 8. I am logging with user ID C. You can see how many sessions a DDIC user has opened. Are you able to see how many sessions a DDIC user has opened? Yes, 6 sessions it has opened. It means he is consuming memory high. Are you able to see memory? DDIC is consuming how much memory? This, if I am having multiple sessions opened, it means I am consuming a lot of memory to the system. We have to restrict this value. A user could not open multiple sessions or it can open multiple sessions, but a limited number of maybe 2 or 3. He cannot open 20. We can change the parameter. To change the parameter, we can run the transaction code as 11. In AS11, we can change the parameter. The parameter to restrict the session. You can check what is the parameter name. Either you can search in Google or you may be having remember what is SAP. This is the parameter max ALT mode. You can use the parameter R is max ALT mode to restrict the maximum number of external sessions. A user is allowed to open in one logon. I will copy this parameter. Go to RZ1D code, put it here in display. Are you able to see? Minimum value is 2, maximum a user can open 16 value 16 session. And now the default value is how much? Check. I am going to change. I am going to make it to 3. I am going to make it to 3. I am making it now 3 sessions. A user cannot open more than 3 sessions. Changes has been made. Now I will log off and try to again log in and then I am going to log off. Now again going to log in into SAP system. We can change the parameter. As per our requirement, we can change the DDIC. Now I will try to open session. Second session. From here I can open the session. Now I am having 2 sessions opened. Here it is showing TRN in bracket. It is showing 2 sessions are open. Now trying to open another session. Now it is a 3 session. Now again I am going to open a session. Are you able to see? You got a message that maximum number of GUI session. This earlier it was 6 session is coming. We can restrict the number of sessions to the user. We can change the parameters. Now we will see how to create the users end rules. Now we will see how to create the users end rules. These are the some host installation tasks. You have to check the consistency, apply the license, create the client, change the parameter, create users and those. Now I will discuss about how to create the users and roles in a SAP system. First, we are going to discuss about how to create the users in SAP system. We can create the users in SAP system using SQOT code. You can see here, now I am going to create a user ID with my ID, and then you have to create a user ID with your name also. Now I am going to demonstrate how to create a user ID. To create the user ID, we can run the connection codes SU1. You are able to see my screen. You see here, then I have to type the new username. Now I am going to create a user ID with my name Sanjay, and then this is a create button. I am creating a user ID with Sanjay name. It is saying that no default company address has been maintained in the system. Create an address. Company name is not maintained here. Only this is one time. This is one time I am just creating because I have not created other users' time zone. Now user Sanjay. Some important things when we are going to create the user. ID last name is mandatory. Other things you can leave. Last name is mandatory. Last name is mandatory, and then you have to the logon data and logon data. You have to specify the user type. We have 5 types of users in SAP: dialog user, system user, communication user, reference user and service user. Only dialog and service user can log in into the SAP system. If you make as a dialog user have to change the password, while service user need not to change the password. Dialog user have to change the password when he log in into the first time. Service user no need to change the password. I am going to create a service user, no need to change the password, and I give a password. In this Then after logon data, I have to go to the role section here, role section. Under role section, I can grant some roles as per some predefined roles are there. There are thousands of predefined roles are there. Like SAP Basis Administrator, SAP AWS Data, SAP Finance Controller, all the either you can use. You can see there are several predefined roles are there. Like SAP, suppose we will see. SAP System Administrator, SAP System Administrator. We can use this predefined role, or we can create a role by ourselves and we can grant this role to the user. From here we can grant the role. I am granting this role to this user system administrator role. And I am granting the authorization profiles. Under profiles, when I give SAP and score all, it means full authorization. Role is role contain the menu item as well as authorization, while profile contains the authorization. I have granted this as a menu item. What is the menu item between becoming in the basis admin and profiles? He can perform all the tasks. After that, we have saved this user ID got created. Now user ID Sanjay got created. After that, yes, sorry to interrupt you. This under role, which are the, I don't know, we call it as activities or T course. The user has access as part of system, and how do we see that? See, there are several predefined roles are created by SAP Basis Administrator. We map that to a particular user. Now SAP Basis Admin has this role. How many different activities or menu items are included as part of this? How do we go and see? Yes, that's why I am telling you, when you have granted that we will cover next to our next topic. We are not created like cover the role. Next topic we are going to cover the role also. I will cover the role also. I'm trying to create first user ID. First you try to create the user ID. You should understand how to create the user ID. Later on I am going to how to create a role, and we are going to include the roles there. First you try to create the user ID. We have created a user ID. Even you don't give any role, you just go to the profile section. Under profile section you go and you grant SAP underscore all profile. This is a predefined profile that contains all system authorization. After that, when I have granted this one, the user ID got created. Now I can log in into the SAP system using user ID Sanjay password India 7575. Now enter this. I was mistyping. Now I am able to log in as a Sanjay. Else the point. This is the menu item. This are you able to see the menu item? Yes and yes. This menu item is coming from the role. Yes, menu item is coming from the role. If I have not granted this role, user will not be having the menu item, but he can perform all the tasks because he is having the full authorization which is given to him. Now I am going to run AL.8 and we can see which users are logging. Now you can see Sanjay is also logging. User 3 is logging. Now you can try to create a user ID. I am going to document how to create the user ID. You can try to create a user ID. After that, I will explain how to create the roles and profiles. You should passable to her user ID for different client. Yes. You have to log in into particular client, only then you are going to create a user ID. You cannot create a user ID of Sanjay from 1 client to 100 client. You have to log in into that client. Suppose we have a system TR and system here. You have to understand like this. You are able to see my screen. We have to write PO client. We have 1 client. I log in here into 1 client with user ID Didi and I go and run S01 and I created a user ID Sanjay. Sanjay got created here only in 1 client. Got? I cannot create the Sanjay user ID in 100 client from 1 to create the Sanjay user. I have to log in into 100 client and then I can create the user ID in 100. Got? User ID are specific to the client whenever we log into, whenever we are there, wherever we are running the T code SU01. The SU1 we are running in Zalem1 client. We can create a user ID in Zalem1 client, not in 100 client, not in 2IP Azure client. Now you have to do the task. I will document the task. You can perform the task created user ID. How are we going to create user ID to new client? There is, I know, user ID. Very good question you have asked. For new client, we have to log in with special user SAP star and password is pass. Your question is very good question. Now I have created a new user. What was my user? I have created a new client. You are able to see my screen. Now I want to log in into 100 client. You are absolutely. 100 client doesn't have how to log in into 100 client. To log in into the 100 client, we have to use user SAP star and we have to use password P as S. But it is not reflecting. It means SAP has made secure. We have to log in into the new client with SAP star and password pass, SAP star and password pass. But this parameter has not been enabled. I have to enable this parameter. To enable this parameter, I have to go to rscan tcode and enable this parameter. I have to change the parameter value. The parameter value says that I will show you what is the parameter value I have to change. Some parameter doesn't require the restart. Some parameter require the restart of the system. Yesterday you were asking why we should restart the SAP system. To change this parameter, we have to restart the system. We can change the parameter using these T codes. What are the T2 T codes? These are the T codes change parameter. You are able to see this is dynamic parameter. No need to restart, no need to restart. Like just now, we have to change the number of sessions. But to change the parameter, static parameter, we have to change from static parameters. We have to change it from RZNT code RZ10. I am going to use RZT code. It is still running. We are going to use RZ10 and you said that how to log into the new client. To log in into new client using user SAP star and password passes. Are you able to see to log in into the new client? We can log in into new client with user ID, SAP star and password PSS. But parameter login, no automatic user. SAP star should be disabled. Got This parameter is not allowing us to log in as SAP star login. No automatic use SAP star. We have to disable this parameter. This is a static parameter. It means to enable this parameter, we have to restart the system. We are going to see these things. This is still running. I have to change some values there, then it is going to be effective. Change the values in default profile. I have to mention the parameter. The parameter name would be login no. You are able to see my screen there. Yes, no automatic user SAP star. It is saying the value is equal to 1. Are you able to see value 1? Able to see value 1? Value 1 is showing that it is enabled. It means you cannot log in with user SAP star. I am going to disable this value. Parameter value 0. I am disabling. 1 means enable, 0 means disable. I am disabling this value. After disabling this value, I am going to save the changes. Yes, same again. Do you want to activate the profile? Are you able to read what it is written here? Can you read? It says you have to restart the application server for change. It should be effective. The effect of activating a profile simply means the profile is stored at OS level. For the profile to take effect for a particular application server, we have to restart the application server. But before we start again, I can try one more time. I can try here. I have opened the session. I will use SAP star password. Pass not able to log in. I am not able to log in. What I have to do? I will now exit from all the screens or without exiting. Also, we can just start the system. Automatically, we will get the error. How to start the stop by SAP system? What is the tool name? SAP Momosi Microsoft Management Console. You open the Management Console. I have done for TRN system. TRN system, click Restart, hard restart. The user ID TRN DMS ID. SCD is TRN daemon and I have to give the password. This is the user. This is the user we set up. First start and start up stop yesterday. TRN dim correct. Dim. We have not set up. It is automatically installed a set up the user ID. TRN ADMM. Yes, TRN no yesterday. We have started the GSC system. GSC ADM installed automatically created correct. Yes. T is an is earlier whatever system ID. The user ID would be SID ADM. Whatever is the SID, that would be the 3 letter C, correct? Correct, yes, 3 SID. Then ADM would be there. Now I am trying to start the system. Oh, now I think problem. Now starting. It takes some time, 2-3 minutes. It takes at least. When everything is green up, then it is now green. Green, everything is green. Now we will try to log in into client 100. Client 100, we do not have any user ID. We will go with SAP star and password pass. Now you can see I am able to log in into client 100. Now when I am going to type ALZO8, I can see how many users are logging into client 100. Client 100, no user is logging. Only SAP star is logging. I want to see how many users are there in client 100. I can run a report authority yesterday. We have run a report ASUS R200. It will show all the users in a particular client. We do not have any user ID. We do not have any user ID here. We do not have any user ID in this client because we have not created any user ID. Got it. Now you have to create a user ID in TR and system client. Now you just log in into the, now you can log in into the TR and system client 100 only. TR and system client or client Salem1 with your user 1, 2, user 4. You log in into TR and system client or 1 with your user ID 1, 2, 4 with password and go to SSULO1. Go to SULO1 T-coded, type your name. Type your name and create. Create button similar to paper symbol. You just type your name there and then there is a create button. You create this one and then you fill the mandatory entry, fill mandatory entries. Mandatory entries are last name. Last name is mandatory, user type, password and profile. Under profile tab, you give the profile. File tab, you give SAP underscore all full authorization. You try to create 2 users. You type your name dot d and create button and you create this kind of thing and type your name dot user type. Here do types dialog user. Here you type service user and last name user type. These data will be coming under different tabs. Last name will come under I just mentioned here. Also, whenever you are going to use O1, and now I am going to create a user send your here create button. This is the create button. Create button. It is saying that I just log in into All-in-One client. Otherwise, you have to then create the company and other those things. I am just logging into All-in-One client, send JS user 1. Now I want to create GSC US create. Last name under address and under login data under address tab. Last name under address tab, and this user type and password comes under. This data will come under log on data under log on tab. Under log on tab, and this profile will come under profile tab. Profile will come under profile tab, and then you have to fill this organization. You have to create two users. One is service user, one is dialog user, and you are in systems all-in-one client with both IDs and observe difference. Observe difference between a normal user and difference between dialog and service. Dialog and service got it. You have to create two types of users. In this exercise, you can create the two types of users. Says user, is that the code? You can do it and let me know if anybody having any problem. 10 minutes for this activity, 3:50 to 4 p.m. IST, and you first try to create, and if facing any problem, let me know. In this way, you will be able to create the user ID, and then we will discuss about profiles and authorization. First, you try to create this. Guys completed, able to understand the difference between dialog user and service user. I was able to create two user ID. You see my name. Are you able to log in with those IDs and are able to understand what is the difference between normal dialog user and service, or does the dialog user? On my initial login, there is a new password required. It requires me to change password, and then for the service, it did not require me to change password. How user the initial password which you have created, it was initial password. Service user can be used for multiple users. Whatever the password is created during initial time, it will be in normal dialog and service users. Now I will go to the next topic, that is profiles roles. Yes, any question? When you are creating service, user ID should be generic like for your whole group. You are like in IT support. You can create an IT support group ID kind of thing. In case of any problem is coming, that will be having very minimum authorization, very basic authorization, not full authorization. They can lock and log the user ID. Suppose your ID got logged, then at least you can log in with the IT support group ID, and then you can unlock your ID. But Sanjay register away, wherein I can determine who is the particular user uses this via service ID. User uses that because whenever you are going to log in into the system, you have to use the user ID. You want to see, for example, we are using three of us using service ID, same ID, where you are using same ID. But how can I determine that the job was done by the user one? Then you cannot differentiate. You can differentiate only in that case using the terminal. Suppose you are working from computer number A, he is working from computer number B, computer number C, then they can differentiate. But otherwise, whatever the user ID, we have created user 2 or user 3, everybody is going to use user 3. You cannot differentiate here, but you can differentiate with the client machine. User 1 is working from computer A, user 2 is working from computer 2, and user 3 is working from computer 3. Then you can see the client host. With that you can differentiate. Got it? Got it? Because everybody is using the same user ID. That user ID system, it is going to show the user ID same, but with the client machine it is showing to the different. Somebody is using machine A, machine B, machine C. You can differentiate from where it is logged in. But here it is showing everyone is training because everyone is logging here. Everyone is logging here. That's why it is showing training client here. We move to the next task. Now what you can do, you can try to log in 5 times, interact, log on. Suppose I try to log in with Sanjay user ID. Sanjay user ID is here. Are you able to see Sanjay user ID? I am going to just log off again, log off. Now I will try to log in with Sanjay user ID. Let's see what happened. Sanjay ID type incorrect password one time, second time and third time. What will happen? When I type third time incorrect password, what happened? 1. ID third time, what happened? Session out. Session out to account log, no, not account log, session out. Now I will again go to here. Now I will attempt fourth time. Fourth time incorrect password. Fifth time incorrect password. Now what? Now sixth time. I am going to use the password. What it is saying, are you able to see what it is written downside? Ash right now long, very possible. Too many, now the account is logged. Now the account ID is logged. It means that 3 sessions, if you type 3 times incorrect password, the session will be logged out, and 5 times if you type incorrect password, then your session will be, your account will be logged. How to verify this information? Now Sanjay cannot log in because Sanjay ID got logged. You have to request to the administrator to unlock the Sanjay user ID. Now I will show you how to unlock the user ID. I will log in with different user. ID did it. Go to CUSO1. I can type Sanjay. Are you able to see this? This button lock, a log button able to see yes. Now I am going to show this one what it is saying, what message. Sanjay ID got logged due to incorrect log on attempts. I can use this button unlock what it. This will unlock the Sanjay user ID now unlocked. Now the Sanjay user ID got unlocked. And everything is parameter. Everything is the parameter. Now we can see the parameter. We can go to the Z11. We can parameter log in star. In log in star, we can see the parameter how the phase2 user lock when a user ID got logged. What is the how many values they have given here. Five. Are you able to see this value? 5. It means if a user 5 times incorrect password, it will ID will be logged. We can change it. We can make it to further 100. Sorry, 10, 20, 15. We can change these values also. Everything is configurable. Some settings are as a basis. Consultant, you have to change these values as per your company requirement or company policy, not it. You can make more secure as well as more vulnerable your system. And most of the times guys are just doing a C1001 and they are just lock and log by user ID. Maybe sometimes now Sanjay forget the password. You can change the password also. This button is changed the password. You can change the password for some reason. It's very simple activity. That's why I was telling you that you can learn the basis in 10-15 hours because you guys are experienced guys. It's a like real-time things we can discuss now. The thing is you have to practice. You have the 24/7 servers available. You can practice, you can see the different ways, and you can ask the questions if you are not able to understand something. Sanjay, yes, you said possible to change the lag in attempts, fed lag in attempts for a particular users. Yes, it is possible to like individual for users also. One is if you are going to maintain it is global policy, it is journal for everyone, but suppose you want to specify individuals. I want to use for Sanjay user only. That is in advanced user administration. I can. When I am going to create a Sanjay user, I can create a policy. Are you able to see the security policy here? I can mention the security policy. I can create individual policy for individual group of users. Like for management users, there is a different policy, or management users different policy. For IT people, different policy, or sales people, different policy. Then I can create a policy and then I can assign the different policy for different users. If I am not going to assign the policy journal, policy is applicable for everyone. That was our user topic. Now we will discuss about an in-user. That is another very important thing. SysGYM sometime S. UIM user information management. In this SUIM, you can see when a user login, at what time, who created a user. ID everything you can see from here. It is like ocean user information system. Here we have all the like. I want to understand which user is having SU's RONT code. Which user is having SU's RONT code. I can go here user with complex selection criteria uses by transaction authorization. I want to understand which users are having SU0T code authorization. I will just type SO1. It will show me all the users will be having the SU0T code. NL Dinal BS Sanjay Sapi star user 1 2 3 4 only NLB created, other users are have not created the user ID. Maybe if you are busy later on, you can create the user ID, because until or unless you are not going to perform the task, you will forget. If you did one time the activity, you will always remember. It is very easy to remember. Now we will discuss about authorization rules, how the rules are going to work, and how the authorization is going to work in SAP system. Sanjay, regarding to the COM, see it possible to extract all the users including their rules. Yes, all the users you can see here. If you would just go back here, users by address data, users by user ID, users by complex selection criteria. If I say user by user data, address data, I do not fill any name here, it will display all the users. It will display all the users. There are 7 users in client Zalo 1, and then I can export to Excel sheet or spreadsheet, or like in doc format or PDF format. I can. SUIMan is very informative. T-Code, with that you can display all the information related to users and authorization. Now we will see the authorization security. We will see the authorization in SAP. Now we will see the authorization. For authorization, we have some terms. We have to first understand those terms. First is object class, object class. Then we are having another term known as authorization object. First we are having object class, second term we are having authorization object, then third term is we are having authorization field, and fourth term is we are having authorization, and fifth field is profile, and sixth field is role, and we got user. We have the user ID also. User, we can grant user a profile. A user can contain profile also. A user can contain the role also. User can contain both things. User can contain role as well as profile. Now we come to this very basic concept. What is object class? Object class is a like group of object like. Suppose you want to protect sales order. Sales order is your object that you want to protect. Sales order is your object that you want to protect. Sales order comes under as the class sales and distribution. Sales and distribution. Now under sales order, we are having two fields. One field is company code, another field is activity. This authorization object, suppose sales order contains two fields, company code and activity. Whatever values you are granting here, it is known as authorization. If I say company code is equal to 1, 1 is for India, 0, 0, 0, 1 for India, and activity is free display. This is one authorization. This is one authorization. Another authorization is 00 Qatar in Qatar. Activity 02 you can create also. I am having two authorizations 01, 002. I am having a profile. I just name a profile P. I just make a profile, something like profile. This profile is a combination of multiple authorization and profile plus a profile plus menu item. Let's see. This is the complete flow of how the authorization is going to work. You can create a profile, you can create a role. Role will be having the menu item, profile will not be having the menu item, profile is just authorization. Authorization is whatever the field values have been assigned to a particular field, then it is known as authorization. We can create roles and profiles using transaction code. We can create roles and profiles can be created by this GFC. Able to understand any question, then I am going to show you how to create a role and profile. I think on my site, I am going to show you how to create a role. I go to the transaction code, able to see my SAP screen. I go to PFCG. In PFCG, I will type the role name. I am creating a role, name test row, then create this button, create single role, description role, something, then menu item. What would be in the menu of this role? What would be the menu of this role? The menu, I have to decide what would be the menu. In this, we will be having some transaction code. It will be having some URL. I say it will be having some URLs, web address. It will be having Google.com. Text is Google.com. Web address would be http Google.com. Like this, it will be having a menu item Google.com. It will be having a transaction code. You can include a lot of things from here. You can add the fiery tile also. You can add the fiery tile transaction code. It will be having a transaction code SM50, SM51, SM66 like this. This will be the menu item. In menu, when I assign this role that to particular user, ID user will be having the menu. But what is the authorization? Authorization is a combination of profiles. We will come here authorization tab, then we have, you can see here, do you have any profile name here? Are you able to see any file name here? Each blank. We have to generate the profile. We can go here, change authorization data, then generate the profile. Generate the profile. The profile name is this, come automatically. It will come, or you can make your own profile, then generate the profile. Now the profile has been generated, and you can see here the color is green, menu item and authorization is green. Now our test role has been created. Test role has been created. Now I will create a test user. I will create a test user and I will grant this test role to the test user so1. I am creating a test user. Test user create a test. Then grant this. It is saying the initial password is created. Now when I am going to use the test user to log in, test user will be having the menu item as per the role granted to this user test. Are you able to see the menu item? We have created a Google.com work process. Overview of job selection started as instance like this. They will be having it. Got it. Now you can also create a role and generate the profile, and you can do the hands. I am grant like any question. Now I will assign the test to you. You can yes, your user ID is what? Created that file. That's big. Now we have done it to us. Now will be .s, then add it roles. Role name is test role. Enter, save it, but it will not automatically come. You have to log off and then you log in. Then you are able to see the role. You will be having the Google link earlier in the menu item. Like here in the menu item, you will be having the Google link earlier. You were not able to see that link. you have to log off again. Log in now will be dots with that. Now, then you will be able to see. This is the authorization, how the authorization is going to work in SAP. Very simple but very complicated when we are having thousands of objects or million of objects, because when you are going to real life scenario, there will be million or billion of authorization objects. To understand, to segregate the difference, there is a very big team's work in security. Some organization there will be having 100 500 consultants only for SAP security, but the concept is only this one. And if you are able to understand this concept, object class authorization, object have the feed, whatever the values assigned to those feed is known as authorization. Multiple authorization makes a profile, profile plus menu item makes a role. Either profile or role can be granted to the user. Profiles and roles can be created from the transaction code TFCG. Now you can do the hands-on, because hands-on very important. You try to create a ABAP role in TRN system client. Role is also specific to the roles are also specific to the client. You have created a role in Xylem 1 client to 100 client or whatever client. First, you have to go to the PFCGT code, type your name, and in the role name you can create with your name, and then create name role, create button similar to the paper symbol, and then you have to in menu item add web address like Google.com and transaction codes like SAM50. After that, PFCG add. Here two sections are important. One is menu item, another is authorization. In menu item, tap in menu item. Taps add web address like Google and transaction codes like this one. Then in authorization tab, generate a profile, save your role and grant this role. Username in SSO1, take hold log of and login and observe the menu item. The menu item of your now you got Google.com would be there in your task. You can try to perform this. Guys able to create the role, different types of roles. Same way, if I want to see how many roles are there, we can see the roles also from SU iMatix code. SU iMatix code is very important to code. With that we can find any information. Now I want to see how many rows are there. We can see same way like rows. Here we can see the rows by name. Is it possible to check a roles created within between period of time? Yes, everything is possible. You can see when the role was created. You want to see the role by roles created by today. Yes, you can see roles, language shown text. You can see the complete information would be there. Object by field name your question queries. You want to see when today's created role. Yes, and then we will try to find by change date roles, by change date created by start date. It is going to show you all 6085. It's 18. I want to see today. I just mentioned here change since when the role got changed. Change miss, new role has been created. We can see we have only 3 roles created today, not in different way, getting my point, not exact your query answer, but the query get answered in this way. We have tried to find whatever changes happened from 10th to 17th miss today. Into created and I will be role. I created these 2 roles. Is it possible to have a role and inside that role we will insert another set of roles? We can have a parent role or a group of roles. We can do like you can go to pfeg. We can have composite role also pastig. You want to nest it. Now I am creating a test role 1. In test role 1, I want to create include another role. That is your query. We can create a composite role here. Composite row is a combination of multiple roles. If I create a composite role, then it is going to ask which role you want to add getting. I can specify test role. I am creating test role 1. Test role 1 is going to having test role plus menu item. Apart from this, I can add additional thing. Earlier I was having additional activities I can mention here like transaction code or other entries. That is possible. Or we can inheritance also. Inheritance means parent-child kind of relationship. Inheritance means it is taking everything from the parent, but it can just verify some of the things that you can specify. You can do the inheritance also. Inheritance hierarchy. You can see what are the things you are going to copy from the parent role. We can create the roles using PFCG, and we have the code SUIM. With that we can find the information when we are used list change document for roles. Everything you can find it from here. It is going to like, suppose I want to understand test role. Who created test role, at what time, what attributes you have added. Everything you can find here. The test role created on 18th 523, this time 1052 user DDIC, he used this transaction code. What he did, he changed some attributes. He created roles, role description, attributes, transaction, added authorization data, what you can find each and everything. Who is going to like, who created the role, who role using transaction code S01 to the test user. This is under SUIM or under SUIM. You can see change document for roles. Here you can see, like for NLP, what was your role name? That's role. That's role. Now we will try to find LP. We have created a role created by user 3. User 3 created this role, created role, role description you have defined. Then you have changed the authorization profile and role assignment for the user. From PFCG, you have assigned the role to the user. You assigned role to the user both ways possible. From SU1 also, you can assign or you can assign from the PFCG. Both is possible. How is it? We have covered today post-installation activities, configuration, how to change parameter. I will write the T code also. ASI10, it will be easy to remember you guys. ASI11 changed the parameter. Post-installation and configuration users we created using transaction code SU01. Authorization roles you created using PFCG, and you have seen SUIM, user information management system. And in post-installation configuration, some of the T codes that you have seen, like you have seen CCK consistency check, you have seen SLicense T code, you have seen SCC4 to client create and start stop by SID ADR. This would be the master document. Even you will be able to SAP Server Post Installation Task and Configuration. CFK's license SCC4, you created the client. You changed the parameter using AS10 and AS10 for static parameter and AS11 for dynamic parameter. That does not require the restart. Then today we discussed about users, how to create the users. We have five type of users: dialog user, service user. Only dialog and service user can log in. Other users cannot log in, like communication difference and system users cannot log in. Then we have discussed the PFCG SUIM. Next session we are going to see monitoring, task proactive monitoring, how you have to monitor the system. We will see the transport management also. We will see then database administration, task fetching, and Today we discussed these things. We discussed post-installation task, configuration, changing parameters, how to create users' roles, profiles and user information management. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.